Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте пальчики вверх, пишите свои комментарии, не забывайте жмякать на колокольчик.
The fragging by taking down Buster. It's Flamey to take the site. Smoke toward the truck means Kicker won't have any vision. Flash in reverse, though, toward Na'Vi means they can push out from the dumpster. They only get one. Edward responds with two. He was the second highest rated player yesterday for Na'Vi. He'll swap over to the USP. Avoid the reload time on the Glock, but also a more accurate pistol to play with. So pick that up from the CT side. He now holds in the corner, making it very hard for Krizen to work back out. He's the last remaining player on the CT side. Bomb already planted. Toward B, they do actually get some aggression, so it's not the A side, which we typically see from a CT side. Instead, it's short and it's Krizen. But the problem in this position is that if the door opens, he can isolate that angle. He manages to do so as well. Simple was not expecting it, and they aren't quite. That happened quicker than I would have expected because they aren't quite in the tunnel. If they were able to get an angle and trade off of that, it might have been beneficial. Instead, they go Monster, but Buster's rotated in behind. Bomb dropped already, and Krizen never dealt with. Walked back out behind, and pincers in from Monster. It's just Flamey left on 16 with 5 seconds. Bomb's not able to be planted. Round's over. He needs to save the AK-47, so he'll elect to do exactly that. Behind shorts, this will give him a chance to trade off and fall back, but Flamey's got him first. One and done is what I would have expected. No trade in that position. Krizen's now on his own, and despite them pushing long to confirm this is B, they need a rotation quickly from Fitch.
Oh my goodness, good shots from Flamey here. They still have 30 seconds, but it doesn't seem to matter. I don't think time will be a huge factor here. As Flamey, he'll find 3 kills on the bomb side there. No real response available. Here comes a flash. And he should better spray them down, no problem here whatsoever. They're all so good at this sort of range. And he's looking for the 3 kills there, delivers on all fronts. The bomb is down, and now a 4 versus 2. Flamey and Electronic to pick up the pieces. And you can see this player is sitting behind the smoke. This could be everything. He's just trying to deny the plant at this point.
Yeah, default position gap. He didn't spot it, actually, the first one going through. But he could have taken advantage of. X-ray, just for those of you in the arena that aren't aware, is only on our side. They can't see through that, so he's unable to spot the players on the opposing side, but great position because he denies the default plant position. That had to be the goal. Simple 4 HP onto the Deagle after finding 2 kills. Knows there's one more behind the box, but easy to do. Tends to be a very wild weapon in that situation with recoil, but gets 1. Aim goes down. That's an important kill to find, but they still back out with the advantage as Krizen finds Edward. Buster knows they're inside from Monster on B. Pillar to protect. He's got to be careful not to overextend on this because he's unaware of what's to his right. If they're in Monster, excuse me, Sandbags, that's an awkward exchange. He should have easily won that out. And now Flamey with the Deagle has headshot potential and finds 2. That's going to be a bomb plant for Na'Vi as a result. Fitch is a long way off. Nade won't do much. Flamey's already got the bomb down. AK thankfully picked up in his sake because an MP9 actually wasn't that much of a weapon to work with at range. The AK certainly is, and it shows the potential immediately.
Oh, this is so close, and Fitch will be coming out on top. Electronic there. Now, plenty of options to adjust up.
There are some, but Guardian's probably the most famous one.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's really been using those weapons too often. Buster. Flash goes too deep, so it doesn't blind him up. He's easily able to dispose of Electronic, but the problem is they left Monster open in the meantime. Krizen does respond to get Flamey, but they've lost 2, and they've given up a lot of ground in the site. Both A defensive players have to rotate over, and already with a Molotov, they'll slow that effort down. Thankfully, Kicker does get around, get inside of the site. Simple through the edge of the wall. Does find him, though.
HE available, and an opportunity towards the heaven position. He's waiting for mistakes to be made there. The timing, though, really lets him down. You can see the awareness there. He actually looks in the 2 positions the players are by the utility. I'm not sure that was a smoke on top of it. If it is, he might have to wait a little bit longer, but he pushes through confidently, and they're heading towards B now through Monster.
I thought I saw a cheeky play from Zeus. I'll come back to Krizen traded, stepped wide from the Flames. Only got 1, but Buster again pushing up. They haven't dealt with that short position. Avangar's certainly winning out the exchanges when they get aggressive most often in that position, so they've got to address that on the Na'Vi side, but they want to pick up the pace. We've seen twice that's cost them quite dearly in this game, and Simple getting 1 for 1 going down leaves us only with Edward. Smoke on the site, but he can't plant that because they'll easily push through, and Kicker's aware that he wants to slide down the ramp. Electronic already inside of the Flames, but he's revealed that he's there by firing at the wooden wall, trying to get damage through it. Buster may have been able to act on that. In fact, with the door open, he finds Flamey instead. Again, that's a bit careless from Na'Vi, not considering those angles. Normally I thought beating the Molotov, Electronic might actually have the upper hand, but then it was all the other way, and Buster's going to get away with 2 before he falls back.
That's audacious, and that's exactly the mentality you need to beat a team like Na'Vi. A lack of respect.
Simple's on an op. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, round 13, the first time.
It's incredible, the performance he can pull with it too, just barely through the flames. He's able to spot Fitch. That's one on the opening. They can isolate Krisen if they know where he is. If they can find him fast enough, the Molotov will force him wide. Zeus, by design, already has the angle covered off, knows exactly where the head's going to appear. All he has to do is click the button, and it's perfect. Now they're down with the HP as well on Kickert and Buster to getting the bomb planted on 10 seconds and actually giving themselves a chance to win this round. They can steal it back. Positioning's not amazing. Simple still in transition, misses the shot. Off can't recover fast enough. It's all on Zeus. Not typically the man you'd find in a clutch. Gets caught out by Jame on top of the boards. And it's Avangar finding number 9. So Smoke down, just to note as well, the odds on GGBet, their live update based on the trends within the game, based on people betting at the time. They've already swapped, in fact, more than they were at the start against Na'Vi. They now have a 4.2 odd. That's pretty ridiculous.
That's a pretty juicy bet. We'll see what happens though. Edward will be opening things up. Finally, some signs of life here from Na'Vi. This round's in the bag, unless this man on the screen goes absolutely wild with the AWP. Good flashbang. That'll be thrown courtesy of Zeus, and he'll get the shot as well. 10-5.
Buster with the pistol is going to explode toward the bathrooms, just as in the first half. Simple opens up the scoring, if you will, by finding him. He's not traded out this time either, so it's somewhat sustainable. The problem being they've lost Flamey at Monster. That's the main access point to the B site. The single smoke covers off the gap on top of the platform, meaning they can rush inside of that smoke, use it as a veil to get the bomb down. And Simple's really rendered useless in that situation, aside from a bit of luck, which he's going to try and get now. Nearly does. Jame down to 11, but he has to reload. That's when Jame pushes through. Luckily, that reload finished. He's able to get the kill in time to save his teammate, Edward, who found Krisen in the meantime. Now it's Kickert. All they have to do at this point, really, is exactly this. Apply pressure. The kill's not even the important part.
Oh, God.
They nearly lined up for headshots. They're even going to go, of course, Simple's going to go for a knife. They are going to go for that rotation a little bit early on as well with the AWP from Simple. They're expecting this to be on A, and they aren't wrong. 22 seconds to play with Electronic, gets to the corner, hoping to be baited in by his teammates. Not a lot of cover, but often not checked. In fact, gets behind the smoke. Fitch didn't see it, so Electronic's able to slide out, find 2, deny the bomb plant. No further money for Avangar, and even looks toward Jame, who's trying desperately to get away with the AWP. The further he goes without spotting anyone in that position, the more it confirms this is going to go back over toward A.
I think you might be right. They're all focused towards long as well. Flamey with the lineup and perfect execution as well. Sprays 2 of them down, gets the bomb. That's round confirmed at this point. Just showboating, doesn't have to commit to this, but he wants to finish things off with style. Pistol out. A little bit disappointing for him, but they win the round. But that bomb, keep your eye on the minimap there. It's actually making its way towards where the CTs have positioned themselves. They're ready for this. Like we said, it's a gamble. Now Jame gets that information. I think they book it back towards the B bomb side. But timing is going to be everything here. And it's going to be Jame just trying to convince him they're still going towards A. He's going to kill everyone. Why not? So it started off as a bit of a fake and information. In this sort of matchup, definitely. 4 AUGs, just to note, Simple is going to be one of the players on them on the CT side. That's not as surprising as seeing the Krieg for him early on. He makes no mistake and wastes no time getting in toward mid, getting into the underpass. And not only that, back through the door, finds the edge of the smoke, and Krisen goes down to him as well. That's very dynamic from Simple to find 2. They can actually still win this on the Avangar side. I absolutely agree. They've got nades, flashbangs as well. I feel like Jame needs to be flashing towards that spawn area through the smoke now. That would be ideal. There's the flashbang. Does he pounce on it? Yes, he does. Need to find that headshot. Oh my goodness, does he deliver? Looking for the second. This guy can do it all. He's not a one-trick pony. He's hitting every single shot with the AK-47 as well. And all of a sudden, it swings in their favor. Bomb ticking away. I think it's done. There's no chance of the defuse coming in. And that's a massive performance there from Jame and Electronic with no choice but to bail out. Matt, this guy, he's going to be a future star, it seems. He's got everything going in his favor. They've got some potential here. They've got good communication skills. They've got great individuals. And the fact they're making those sort of plays and understand what they have to do to win rounds without disadvantage, like Simple does apparently with the AUG, as he's doing everything he can to find these frags at the start. It's a 5-on-3, but still can be problems.
Difference this time, however, unlike the last one where Simple found the 2 opening, he wasn't out of position in doing it. So they actually still had crossfires established, and you can see how that works. Electronic holds the secondary angle. Zeus park bench, looking to try and swing back, smokes down. Wants to actually allow them to commit. Molotov on the left just to clear off that off corner. Nice timing on the flash. Zeus fully blind. Edward manages 2 from the angle, which is typically good for 1, and then the trade comes back in. Bomb to be planted just in time. 1 second left on the clock when that went down, and that leaves Flamey. Kickert's going to do exactly that by making contact silently.
He has to hit this shot. We know he's sharp, but not quite quick enough this time. It will be a back and forth affair towards the B bomb side, but it looks like Na'Vi have got it. Jame finally gets a gun off one of his fallen comrades, and we'll see with 10 seconds remaining, the bomb in his back. Can he close this one out? It's a very difficult process here, and you can see didn't really have much to work with there. Simple, ready and waiting.
Anyone could have hit that shot. Buster just positioned himself perfectly. That was the skill involved. The simple does find James. That'll slow things down. Bomb still not in position. Will come down from long as well, which means they have to confront the AWP yet again. The problem being, he doesn't have any support to his right. He's relying on a smoke and a smoke only to buy himself security. He's dropped the bomb. Time is running low. Look at Simple go. He's got support down from Edward. Finds for another, but Prison able to drop him. Not enough time to plant this. This is over. Zeus knows it. Has to be 4 seconds on the clock in order to get the bomb down. And not only that, no money.
CS is all about confidence and your mental attitude. As soon as you know if you die, that could be it. It can change everything.
Flamey flashed, can't peek from barrels, but still has the position. No Molotov to distill and to push him out, and that gives him 2. Buster only able to get 1 in return. Can't commit to the ramp either because Edward holds the backside of it. Smoke does mean he doesn't have the vision, but Zeus already has the other side. The opposing side of KvoK covered off. Jane manages to get by, but it's just Buster. This has got to be overtime. 1-on-2. Electronic through the smoke, and we start it all over. Smoke still down at Monster means that Avangar can't do much. It dissolves, dissipates. Edward standing on the grate, wide open, but
there he comes.
Camouflaged in with the black textures behind. Simple at the pillar. He'll play the angles perfectly. Gets the shoulder information. That's an incredibly fast shot to find Kickard. Finally does go down. James eventually had to find him. There's only so much he can do in that situation. Came out ultimately better off than you'd expect and better off than most players would in that situation. 2-on-2, 12 seconds. Bomb needs to be planted. Molotov to the right forces them to the left, but the smoke in position allows Buster the angle and the peak advantage. It's all onto Flamey. He's got 100 HP, but game on the op. That pays off. This time he finds 2, and it's 1-1 in overtime. They're actually going to swap the op. This is not a bad decision either because Electronic on 15, HP is not really a factor with the AWP. You're either going to hit the shot and kill a guy or you're going down either way. So by putting Simple with 100 HP on a gun instead, it allows him to brawl, and he's going to do exactly that. But Fitch gets not only him and Flamey. Electronic now surviving with the op is going to have it all to do because Zeus running through a smoke gets caught out with absolutely no vision. And unlike Avangar, they've elected not to go to a single op, let alone a double on the T side. They're going to run this with all AKs, which suggests pace. Buster's got some as well. Not common you see the op go for a fast pick at Monster on B. Usually that's posted on A. Very unorthodox play. Certainly relevant. Monster. Guardian S, and you're right, that single kill is going to slow them down, deter them from even pushing in, despite that it's the op, and that gives him a reset, gives him the coverage. He's got a third very fast from the secondary opper, and it's down to just Electronic. It's going to be map point for Avangar.
Unless Electronic goes absolutely sick here. They don't deserve this round. That was an absolute nightmare, but he's going to get another kill here by the looks of things. Low HP. So Matt, let's just break that one down. Yes, great stuff by Buster. Good orb shots. I will go check out the stats on Dust 2 after this, but I think it was Pro League Finals where we can go find out what happened there last time. I don't think they'd have worked on it that much in the interim, but here we go then, Bust up. Oh, that was so close. He could have closed it out there. It's Na'Vi looking for double overtime here. They have the advantage right now, but not for long. That's the bomb going down, luckily towards the bomb side, so they can recover it, but a fast play. Can he get the spray down here? Damage being done, and it's going to be a 4 versus 3 in favor of Na'Vi, but this is not comfortable at all.
And the Molotovs, those were extremely smart because they cover off the bomb. Even Edward knows that they're back towards short, but he gets found. It's Simple. Has to step up to find James. Watch for kick out again. They didn't expect it. He comes out from sandbags, pretty much writes it on the wall. Fitch confirms it, and Avangar upsetting Na'Vi. They now find themselves in elimination point.
I think there's a gap in there as well, to be honest. And we'll see James challenge first. A little bit of damage done towards Simple. And like you said, 3 players here, but they'll lose 1.
Keep in mind the difference this time. Zeus, good double for him. He's not normally contributing in these pistol rounds. Does get caught out, though. They couldn't get Buster. He actually gets behind the box, and he gets the bomb for it. Needs a headshot. Buster absolutely dismantling the offense. That's a massive problem. Simple, I was going to mention it. We saw him last time. He was selfless. He gave away the guns early on to try and boost his teammates. This time he has the armor, the P250. A bit more damage dealt from that weapon than the Glock, but he's got to recover the bomb, and he's lost the information. I think he spotted Fitch on the cross. Now it's a heads-up duel. This won't come to plant. This will come to kill. And the range game does still favor the USP, so Fitch, he can try and play the angle, but he's got to be cheeky. He knows how clever Simple can be, and he's even trying to change the aim vertically by jumping up on the ledge, trying to get an advantage with the headshot over top of the box. He'll do exactly that again, and it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, but there's exactly what the USP potential holds. Headshot range, and Fitch wins it out for Avangar.
That shouldn't have been an Avangar round. They get a perfect... There's the smoke. I think it's a ruse. They'll just go up towards short and hope for the best. That's a nice shot from Zeus.
James does get spotted from short, tries to fire through the smoke, anticipating that with that pick they would be pushing middle, so edged his bets to try and get a blind kill. Still on the ramp. Good position to be in. He can swing, he can control the angle, but he was unaware that Zeus hadn't entered yet, so he actually stepped out and gave himself up. This pulls it back to a 3-on-3. Despite that Zeus goes down, Bomb a factor and can favor for Na'Vi because he's got the information early enough that they can set for Cat, and that's exactly what they're doing. Winning the battles on ramp, winning the up-close exchange, and backing off to distance themselves from Kickert and stay on the bomb, but they've lost Edward. Electronic to do it all on his own. Actually got the advantage from the shadow, overstepped the mark on the shot, put him down to 4 HP, makes his job much more difficult on the second kill, and it makes life a little bit more easy for Fitch.
Unfortunately, they've already lost the player, so now what's the call? They've got one flashbang left, and it's a 5 versus 3. They just don't have the strategies on this map, from what I've seen in the last few months, to really have a chance of this one. But I'm ready to be proven wrong. Flamey is almost ready to do that as well.
And he has to. Simple looks shook right now. I mean, we can see the despair on his face. He's not pleased at all with the situation that Na'Vi finds themselves in, and he missed a shot that was pretty uncharacteristic towards short of him. Capable enough on the AWP, has a kid as well.
He's done
so even if the bomb plant goes in, you can work toward it, but you're right. 23 seconds, unaware Zeus has already lurked all the way through the site, clears the angles, and finds him in mid. Point of contention too.
It's
so
one of the few maps we would say is very spawn dependent, and if you can get long control, that's actually a massive part of the map to control. I don't think this scout will be finding around victory, but maybe he can get a couple of kills. We will see. There's the first. Looking for another one now. Simple should be able to take him down. Misses that shot narrowly, but he makes up for it with the Glock of all weapons.
Deep smoke. They're going to think this is wide open. I highly, highly doubt Krisen. Oh, he might check it, spot it anyway. Spot him in the peripheral, but too late at that point in time. Now he's got a bit of an awkward exchange, though, Electronic, because he's got to keep himself alive. James on the op, smart decision. Give up on that battle, and be aware that if they're holding Cat, you usually do that in tandem with a take from long, so look that direction instead. As a result, though, Electronic wisely backs off, knowing that his job done directly in front. He'll cover off rotations, but an awkward battle, and Fitch, he clears that position. So all three from long, gap in the smoke, and a fast off shot from James shuts down one already. Buster can push this smoke, no flash. It will come now. As soon as that flash goes in, he's got the confidence to push through, deny the plant. An awkward situation for Na'Vi. Buster's gonna close it. Brilliantly done on that secondary flash to hold in that smoke as well. And it's going to actually come to matter because smoke already down CT. He's a bit early to fire. Now they know he's in the window, but they actually continue to walk out. He needs to hit that. That's a problem. Molotov down. He's forced off the angle. Simple's already found Kicker. Good response from Fitch to at least control the tunnel. That buys Buster space that he ultimately didn't have, but Zeus too telegraphed. Gun barrel shows. Easy shot. Fitch actually beats him to it, but bomb down inside of the window, and Na'Vi left with very little to work with after what started like a good execution and two gifted misses that would have allowed them to rush the ramp.
They can still bring this round back, though. It's not a foregone conclusion. Here's Electronic looking for the double kill. There it is. Now he's got to go above and beyond here. He will have time to get the bomb planted. He's aware of that. Krisen with the incendiary should make things uncomfortable for him. But that's only at the tunnel mouth. As he's planting the bomb, I'm surprised. As now, are they going together? So Electronics aware there's a player towards tunnels. They want to group up and make this one-on-two situation instead of two solo interactions. So have they got any flashes? They haven't. They're just going to try and use stealth here, and apparently a USP to enter through the window.
Exactly that. James got to go aggressively because he has the op. He can't actually spray down and trade it off. It needs to be the second, but look at Electronic go. Fast reactions. And he absolutely shuts down Krisen. 4 kills.
Kicker that has the smoke, and he is in the B bomb side. He smokes tunnels now. He will sabotage their efforts. He's looking out for the B split, though. As Electronic sits towards spawn, they will get the rifles out here. First shot comes in from Zeus, but Buster facing in his teammate here. Fitch has to commit at this point, trying to spray and get the damage in there. He does a good job, but still a 3 versus 2. Buster's there. Dink comes in, watching towards the window, can't get the kill. And James, he's so far removed from this situation. The AWP on the crossover, well, I should say CD spawn, is not going to be viable. He can't really go for this one. Needs to save the sniper rifle.
A little harder to get these days. Everyone knows the lineups and where to run. Double Molotov. Edwards forced in. He has to go, and he's going to burn alive. Gets one in the flames, but he'll go down. Nothing he could do about it.
What?
That's a triple? No way. Gets through his teammate, kills Krisen and Fitch. That's ridiculous from Simple. We have to see a replay of that. That's insane.
A strange round there. James and Kicker can still bring this one back, especially this young man here. Oh my goodness, what a shot. Does he push these flames? If he does, he's brave. Almost worked out for him. Can you imagine if he hits that blind? And 1 minute remaining, his teammate will have to do most of the heavy lifting now, considering he's low HP. There is an incendiary available and a smoke apparently. That will allow him access. Hasn't gone quite deep enough. That's actually limited him. That hasn't helped at all, as you can see. Had to go like just half a meter deeper.
Yeah, typically that's bounced further to the right as well, so you can isolate the back platform and not worry about the boxes. He did nothing. He came through gray screen. That's
basic, I would say.
That's the okay, so they actually went for ramp. They didn't bounce. If they platform Molotov, Fitch is out of position at that point in time. The fact that he's still there and Krizen gets the first kill, Fitch could change this whole round. Krizen's down, but they still are unaware. He sits on the site. Zeus underneath. Now they're going to find out. Bomb goes down, Fitch peeks up, and it's Jane that's waiting as all the attention gets drawn back his direction, and Fitch wins it cleanly. They had no idea he was there. A single Molotov on platform? That doesn't happen. Krizen out toward long, still waiting, not making contact. They've got the advantage, so there's no need for him to actually face the angle, to risk the potential of an AK coming around and finding that entry headshot. He'll sit back and play what you described last game, the off angle, and try and surprise them, if you will, when they walk around. Fitch again on the A site, this time not being baited in on the boxes, but straight up playing the headshot angle on the ramp. Finds one already, resets his aim. It took him a while, but Simple blinded. He makes short work of it on the second peek, and Kicker will help him close it out. So 8-7 is exactly where we land.
And a couple of flashbangs. The B splits are so prevalent in these pistol rounds that you might see that straight away. Simple, the star, gets headshot but delivers one right back to the face of Fitch.
That's commitment. When you've already taken that much damage on an angle that actually is difficult to sort and can easily be peeked, counter-peeked from Cat. It's commitment. He gets one, gets away. Oh, the flash! He lines up two more. Gap and the smoke bomb down inside of it. Massive drama now for Krizen as he finds himself in a 1 versus 4 and Simple stays alive. Flamey adds the final kill.
Still the underdogs here. This is on a map-by-map basis. We have another map to go over now. We pick this one up. You can see they're the favorites right now, provided usually by our esports bookmaker, and this very stand itself, Jane, with a fantastic shot. So they did not force buy here. Right in the head, that's the only way he'll go down at this point. It could all fall apart. Electronic needs multiple frags here. Delivers that so far. Can he get the third? Great shot. Zeus now will try and do his best. Tags hitting though with the scout. This isn't over just yet. Maybe it is now. That's fantastic from Zeus. It's going to be the AUG and the smoke. If that smoke lands efficiently, oh my god, the shot's even better.
They wouldn't have expected him to peek on that. They're thinking that smoke is entirely defensive, but in a 1-on-3, no armor, he had to go aggressive, and he did. He caught them out. No kit. He's got Edward down. This is going to be a round stolen. Kicker, he's put himself in a beautiful position. He'll play it on quad as well. He controls the peak. All he has to do is play time. Zeus has a full 10-second defuse, but he goes for the early peak. I'm surprised he made that decision. I thought he would draw Zeus away from the bomb.
For Na'Vi can be a bit troublesome. Smokes through, flashbangs committed. Will the Molotov make it all the way? They've got a nice lineup, and this is what you call an execution map. This is detailed, and Zeus will be feeling the brunt of it. He's not in the flames right now, but he is right in the coffin as he gets taken down. Fitch and Electronic finding headshots here, but it's Electronic to find the man advantage. Not for long, 30 seconds remain, and Jane focused towards long. He knows the player's there.
Yeah, bit of an overcommitment from Electronic. Found two and didn't quite catch the fact that two had slung wide on his peak. Jane didn't hit the shot, but you're right, they had the awareness, and they'll swing. Kicker takes down Edward, bomb planted. Advantage to Avangar, trying to close this to just one round, but Flamey has other ideas. Finally found by Buster, it brings it to Simple. Simple without a kit, but with an AWP, and unexpectedly arriving from short, he'll clutch back the round, and Na'Vi stick to 11.
Pick up a deagle in the hands of Fitch, the rest of them with AKs, but you can see a distinct lack of utility there. They're going to go for a contact B play. A lot of teams will do this. They hopefully don't take dinks like that from Flamey. He doesn't get the kill, but will he be dropped here? He's certainly not going to be. But this is the play. They have to push in on this. Even though they're taking damage and Flamey's on for his second kill, they have to try and trade this out. There's still a slight chance, but maybe not anymore. It's looking so good for Na'Vi, and Flamey just keeps finding kills. 3-on-2. Do they keep challenging here? Smoke down. They do indeed. It actually might still fall apart. Here he comes. Simple. Missing shots now, Matt. He picks up the AUG, and maybe that's where he'll find more success.
That's a shot you'd expect him to hit all day, especially where he was gifted the access to the site. They weren't expecting his arrival, and now Zeus might have the chance to pull it back. Line up with a UMP at range. They had no idea he was so close. But you can understand the passiveness from Avangar as a result of that. Edward's still going to post up, AUG in hand, waiting off angle with Simple behind the box. Linear perspective. The problem is they have to give up mid, so Simple can't stare toward the tunnels. He doesn't have that lineup. Instead, he catches Krizen walking out their window. That'll confirm they're coming at door. That's where Edward steps up, and brilliantly so. 3 kills for him. Good setup, good awareness, because typically box is so powerful for the tunnels, but he couldn't focus on that alone.
He needs to die now. At this point, they're trying not to kill him. That might sound weird, but and call for backup. That smoke is everything. No doubt in my mind, Na'Vi win this round at this point.
Good lineup. Fantastic from Simple. Pretty easy, it seems. I wouldn't call it a glitch, but a graphic advantage with the flames in that position, but you were actually still able to be sprayed and spotted if you were carefully at it. Not the same anymore, but you can certainly be sprayed through that car. Yep. Exactly like that. Jane with the headshot on the AWP, spectacular accuracy to find his target, but Simple stunningly through the smoke will put them on map point. It's Na'Vi 15-8.
Almost guaranteed victory at this point. We'll see if that rings true. Krizen, bit of a Hail Mary play, rushing in towards B. Edward gets the double kill. It seems that that B bomb site has been tidied up. There hasn't been a massive issue there this time. And Flamey's hot on their heels. It looks like the job is done. And we will see Na'Vi take us to a third map. That's going to be Mirage. I had my doubts, but it seems that they have been working on the theory side of the map. Yes, the T side still had its holes to plug, but the individual performances in those...
Flash in. Take some ground. Just a little bit of damage done from an aid thrown out by a teammate, trying to get further job done toward Chris. In good step from him, looks for the third, but Simple holding the angle does manage to pull it back on the AK. Problem is that Buster's not been solved. Missed shot, actually I take it back. He tagged Simple through the wall, and he gets a second crack at it to find Zeus, but Simple still inside of the smoke, managed to evade him. Pull it to a 1-on-4, bomb on his back, 29 seconds. It's a pretty difficult situation as the smoke dissolves, dissipates, and gives him up. Just 2 rounds ago. Fortunately for them, it was when they gambled and stacked inside of the A side. Simple's got Prison already. So again, Na'Vi opens it up. James didn't realize they were getting in behind him on Palace, and they didn't spot him in turn being so aggressive toward the ramp. He somehow stayed alive longer than he was due in that corner, but really had nowhere to go and didn't really try and take the fight. Tried to just stay alive and hope his teammates would bail him out. They could not. Fitch.
Kickout and Buster also no utility to speak of whatsoever. That makes things incredibly difficult, but Edward, that's always been a problem for them. That short positions where they seem to lose the majority of their picks as Flamey tries to walk in towards A. Electronic knows he has to step up here, flashbang out, that's going to commit fully towards B and try and trade some kills.
Fitch, good positioning though. Late to swing back out, catches out Electronic. That puts the bomb down with the second kill from Buster on Zeus as well, and it's all on to Simple. First chance in a while for Avangar to pick up a round. They need to be efficient in doing so as well for sake of the reset. Don't need to lose money at this point in the half because CT side more expensive, much more difficult. That's pretty bold from Simple. Runs through, knows Buster's there, but jumping in, perhaps he's a little bit cautious of the fact that Buster is still going to be in the ladder room. And the Molotov was actually designed so that he pretty much had to be, but yet not expecting of his position on the ladder. That's well done from Buster to keep himself alive. You pointed out something interesting as we bring it up in picture. Kikart's gone all the way around and gotten behind them on Palace. This will be a very successful flank. There's absolutely no way Zeus should be ready for this.
We'll never know.
He's dropped in shadow. You're right. He's managed to at least evade him for now, but spotted. That's
oh dear.
A blunder.
15 seconds, they'll still win the round, but every kill has a knock-on effect in Counter-Strike. The fact you don't nail that one when the money's low is a bit of an issue. Simple. That's more like it. Oh god, he's cost himself his life, I think.
He had a clean kill on a platter, but you're right, it's Simple. He wanted to go for the knife and try and build this back up. He has to stay alive at this point as well because there's going to be no money. That's
get him?
Awkward.
Someone went down. Did Simple die? Yes, he did.
It was, yep.
Looking likely to do.
Yeah, 4 sortations.
Yeah, but it's now going to be down to raw firepower, like we said. That's not a problem for the likes of Electronic, but great positioning from these CTs.
Yeah, Kikert does not have to move. He can firmly fix his crosshair exactly where it is, really toward Palace. The fact that they don't have much utility to move him out means he gets to control the situation. They don't check it. Bomb goes down. He knows that Simple's already in behind Triple, but it's Electronic that came out late. They got the kill and trades off Simple to recover the bomb. Zeus has Fitch. It's down to James. Inside plant from Triple means that James doesn't get a line of sight from CT. They can actually back away safely toward, well, not quite A main, but Tetris nonetheless, meaning that they can hold the high ground, cover the bomb, and James has to find 2 that are quite divided, meaning easy trade, and Electronic gets him looking the other direction. James does the opposite approach. He actually gives away the time, tries to gamble with going there late, but what happens? They put a second smoke down and a bit more utility. He's forced out again, and in transition, that's exactly when they capitalize on Connector.
James and Fitch, last line of defense here. Still a fighting chance though, with 20 seconds remaining. Flashbangs raining in. James once again can't deny that plan, but he knows exactly where it is. Can hear it beeping, and we'll see if his teammate can back him up. They've got a smoke, a flashbang. There is a kit there as well. They want to be smoking on top of the bomb, ideally hitting this first shot, which he absolutely does. 2 versus 2. Flamey low HP as well, and he's the last remaining player here. He takes down the AWP. If he can survive this, it will be fantastic. He's playing heads-up CS right now. There's the smoke, and he's trying to outmaneuver his opposition, but Fitch had a huge advantage there, just in terms of the HP. As soon as that smoke goes down, and Flamey is trying to punish that fact. He's got a grenade out. Here we go.
Hops have certainly been a presence throughout this series. Flamey starting it off Fitch, good rundown. They don't know Zeus is in the corner, but really he's stuck there. There's no way to slide back out, and even with Simple in the sight, all 3 gone already.
Well, that's a B rush, and quite the successful one. Nothing too tactical required. Group up, jump in. If you get that first kill, it can snowball. You can see they've got no sniper on either side, and it's going to be another B rush here, and that's what Zeus plays, Matt. And that has been a talking point before. In-game leaders that play the B bomb site will be targeted.
Absolutely. Certainly, if they're the weakest link in the fragging, they're going to target that every single time. And B usually is a narrow access point. You win 1 frag, and it's in a hard. traditionally the harder site to retake, so there's a double-edged sword on that as well, but this time they managed to slow the bomb down. Dropped inside of the site. No need for Zeus to be giving himself up. Kristen gets him through the edge of the wall, back to a 2-on-2. Still, though, the advantage to Na'Vi.
Every second that goes by, he starts to doubt his position more and more, and now he's let one go by, and that could cost Simple his life. The fact they've got past and Electronic hasn't noticed it, well, doesn't seem to matter whatsoever. Simple, aware as ever, nails the shot, takes down Kristen, and that surely is going to be the end of the round as they can challenge together. Now the plant comes in. He knows Simple's pretty far away from this situation. Bomb goes down. It's going to take a wonderful headshot, and he certainly delivers. Another great rifle clutch from James.
And this is a clever boost and a response to it. So the smoke was strictly designed to bring the rotations back over and aid support. Boost up, nice flash. Well timed, completely counters and makes that boost irrelevant. Not the positioning of Zeus though. He was the man doing the boosting. He slides out late, 2 kills for him, stays alive, and all the support came his way. Flashes deter him from doing so. He decides and thinks better of it. As Simple trying to counter flash. Pretty much gives up a very fast execution from Avangar as they finally head to this site instead, but not with full weapons, and that allows Electronic back wide side of the smoke, but only for 2. He actually got stopped by Kickered immediately, and Flamey, he is completely blocked off by smokes, has to allow the bomb to get closer. They've not gone for the plant. Flamey has to check short, but they'll play the retake. And they can. Zeus is going to be on A main. I don't know that they're going to be expecting this. They do know they have to be over toward A because there's no further action towards James, but bomb down temporarily and not recovered. Good thing James got to catwalk when he did, but Zeus could actually still pull this off. No idea he's there. 1 down, but it's a straight duel. James, he's done most of the work on the flank. 17 seconds, and it's a 1-on-1. James, the man with the higher skills. Zeus, typically the one with the smarts, and he's going to try and use that, but stuck in the corner. James got the angle.
Maybe, just maybe, there is a chance here. A sliver of one.
I think you have to go for this. They saved for a reason so they can buy in the next round. They've only got the 1 gun to hold on to. You might as well give this a crack. The damage is there. I'm not sure they're aware of it because it was through the box. You wouldn't be able to call on that. No audible noises, no dinks. Up close, AK Buster drawing his aim. Didn't find the first kill, but they'll swing out. Electronic, good response. Zeus still trying to distract the kicker. He can actually hold him at bay, keep him off the bomb, but he takes the nerve to go for the peek, and that is a bold play. It's down to a 1-on-1 Simple, 5 HP, no kits, and no time. He's backed away. It's a tie game. And we're double check to make sure they haven't snuck up toward Catwalk, got close to Simple's position, who yet would be able to spot them. That gap above the smoke, he even may sneak out further, and he is going to make contact. Oh, or is he? Timing off, he's fallen back. Simple's gotten 1, falls back, and re-peeks to find Kristen. Brilliant play by him, because now they have to hold off. They have to sit back, and they're basically just sitting waiting for Edward to peek. He does exactly that, a 5-on-3, all by Simple's aggression, if you will. That early boost to get himself up in the window, not an easy jump to make.
As they'll try to do anything they can. The single AK makes its way through.
The fact that you say stressful for all the wrong reasons. Indeed. Obviously, it doesn't carry the same weight as the Major will for them, but it's not a position these guys want to find themselves in just before that event when we get there so soon, shortly, just 2 weeks away for their portion of the event. But this is changing. Flamey taken down, forced off CT stairs as well. Smoke on the site, massive gap in that, but Simple has to consider if they jump over the top. Nade spotted, it won't do much damage from that range.
Good nade.
Counter nade certainly does a massive amount of damage. The amount of red showed up on the overlay was substantial, and Edward knows they're going for the plant. 33 seconds flashed in by his teammates. Doesn't worry about the planter directly. Wants to go for the one behind, and all 3 down. That's it. Na'Vi commence on the defuse and finally take this game. And I mean that finally. This was a slugfest.
It really was. No huge celebration here for Na'Vi. That's a hollow victory if ever there was a way to personify that term. You can see it cost them everything in terms of endurance. They're barely shaking hands. This is not looking good for Na'Vi. They're not happy with that one. They know that performance isn't good enough for the Major around the corner. We need to see more from this team. They should be blowing this sort of opposition out the water.